Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to go ahead and give my review over Chasing Dallas, Season 2, The Reunion, Part 1. The reunion was cute. I watched the full reunion. I don't even think I finished Season 1 reunion. Right, exactly. That's how much of Season 1 the reunion I was not into. I actually watched the full season. I just could not get into that reunion. I think I actually tried to watch some more of it a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of watched some of it, then I kind of like clicked off again, then watched some more, clicked off, and I just haven't finished it. But anyways, girl, this is about Season 2. I have to give credit where credit is due. They really stepped it up with Chasing Dallas this season. I think everybody brought something to the table. Well, almost everybody. But I think the majority of the cast, they brought something to the table. The reunion. Now, we're just going to do it like we do the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's talk about what these heifers had on, okay? Girl. I know some of the girls may think, because I get on here with these same t-shirts on, that I don't have any fashion sense. But mama got some style, and mama can throw an outfit together if she needs to, if she wants to. Okay? So I'm very well in my lane to discuss, judge, and have an opinion on fashion, okay? So let me just say that before we start picking these hoes apart, okay? Now, let's go by, let's start out with, girl, I'm just gonna start out with the absolute worst dress. And that is, girl, I don't know what you were giving me. And that goes to Mrs. Ricci G. Girl, Ricci G, you looked a mess. The thing about Ricci G that I like is Ricci G can be very androgynous, right? I think he can be a very pretty girl, and I think he's a handsome man. But every time I looked at him sitting on that stage, the only thing I could think about was a lesbian. Like, he was giving me real stud tease. Like, he gave me that his name was Deborah, but he goes by Dee Dee. That's what he gave me. Like, he gave me a real 40-ish stud who was still trying to be hip and cool. Like, she just got out of prison, and she like, I'm gonna kill these hoes tonight. I'm gonna kill these hoes in my fashion. Girl, when I saw those Air Force Ones, I don't know if Ricci G said it in the season finale that he was going to, I guess, throw the wigs in the trash and kind of, I guess, be more of a man. He made some comment like that. Those are not his exact words. Ricci, I don't know if being a man is in the cards for you, girl. You might be a better looking bitch, honestly, than you are a man, quiet as a scale. And that's no tea, no shade. But girl, I just did not like nothing you had on. Girl, those calling you Power Ranger all night, girl. It's morphin' time. Girl, and quiet as a scale, girl, you really look like the golden Power Ranger. The white one. Girl, I'm saying white and gold. I don't like nothing Ricci had on. Nothing Ricci had on. Who was next? The next one is Markel. Markel looked like, girl, summertime, a nighttime club in Miami. He was giving me little Havana tees. He was giving me, girl, salsa tees. The suit, when I watched the reunion, I was watching some of the reunion on my phone. And then I watched it from the beginning again on my laptop. And the suit actually was not bad. I think it was the shirt and the shoes that made it very... It gave me very much those tees, and I just didn't like it. I think if you had like on a different shirt, and if he had on a different shirt and different shoes, I think he would have been good to go. Who else? Carrie D just was Carrie D. It wasn't nothing, you know. Ariel's dress was more, it looked more costumey-ish to me. I didn't too much care for it, but it was, you know what it was? It was cute. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't nothing like just, I would turn my head twice. But it looked more like a costume dress. Now, I have to say, when I first saw them, I said they look a fucking mess. I said they, okay? When I first saw, I'm just gonna group them together because they really almost, I don't know. Kane and Trey Howard, I thought looked a fucking mess when I saw the preview. However, when I saw the show, Kane's outfit was actually really, I mean, that's not my style, but Kane's outfit was actually really, really cute. And when I saw all of Trey Howard's outfit, when I saw the full zhuzh he had going on, his outfit was cute too. I would actually put them in the top, quiet as it's kept. However, my favorite of the night, and this is more of my style. I'm not really into like the thing is the people who dress like Kane and Trey Howard and Dior, they don't like the people who dress like Trey Womack and like George. And people who dress like George and Trey Womack usually don't like the way that the other, like, you know, like the Trey Howards and Kanes and the Dior's of the world dress. My favorite, the best dress of the night to me was Trey Womack. I thought basically he done lost weight. But I told y'all Trey was gonna be fine. I told y'all hoes. I said let Trey lose some weight. Trey gonna be fine. And I guarantee if he loses about 10 more pounds, Trey gonna be fine as hell. Trey looked handsome. Maybe that skin was on point. Maybe them legs was on point. That suit was cute. Those shoes, I thought everything was cute. I felt like George, it was cute, but he had a lot going on at the same time. Like, I saw a necklace. I saw, what is it called, a brooch. I saw some rings. I saw a watch. I saw a hat. I think maybe if he would have took off the necklace, maybe the pin, something. But I just felt like Coco Chanel, like when she say, when you leave the house, take off one thing. I think that George probably should have took off two. Quiet as it's kept. But him and George were like the best dressed to me. But again, that's more of my style. I actually liked Howard's outfit, you know, even though Kane told him, you know, shut up, you know, when we get into what Kane told him in a little bit. But Howard actually outfit was cute. The only one that really just looked a mess to me was Ricci. I didn't like nothing Dior had on. That girl, those two girl, those two horns coming down in the middle, up above your eyeballs. Girl, I could not. Girl, I think he had some design on the side. He had two plaits hanging in the front of his forehead. I said, I cannot. But yeah. Anyways, I did not like the fact that Trey was on his phone when it first started. Throughout the reunion, what's her face was on his phone. George was on his phone. I was like, what are they doing? Why is your phone even out? Like, come on now. George with this voice, with this, the way his voice was changing, it reminded me of Quad. I'm like, why is he doing all of these different things with his voice? 1 minute he is, no, honey, I told you that I could go. Like, I'm just gonna make up something. No, honey, I told you I could go to the store if you needed me to. Girl, what the hell are you talking about, girl? No, I told you I could go to the store if you needed me to. I could pay for the groceries also. No, you don't have to pay me back because I have coin like that, sweetie. That's what he was giving me. And I'm like, girl, you already doing too much for me. I thought Trey was funny in the faces that he was making. Ricci G was giving me very much Nene Leakes tease, like, and that's not a good thing. You know how Nene, for the last few reunions at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she comes and she has this, yeah, you right, I'm wrong. Yeah, right, yeah, I don't have nothing to say. That's what he was giving me at first, and I'm like, okay, girl, okay. And Reese reminded me of the child that has an attitude, or the person, not even the child, but the person who always has an attitude, and they want you to ask them what's wrong. So they come in with an attitude, and they just really want you to ask them what's wrong, and you know that's what they want, so you don't say shit. That's what Reese was giving me. I'm not even gonna ask you what's wrong because I know you're trying to put on a show. Anyways, George got some work done. George got, I think, lipo. Girl, let me tell y'all something, baby. I'm not mad at George. I done told y'all hoes a million trillion times, baby. If I can get this coin up, bitch, I'm laying on somebody's table too. Down, okay? Girl. So shout out to George. Girl, let me say something. One thing that I think that is hilarious, it doesn't drive me insane, but I think it's hilarious, is that as much as I think Kane was in charge of the girls tonight, I would give Kane his props. Kane was in charge of the girls tonight at the reunion, girl. Who was in charge of the girls? Kane. Kane ran that whole reunion. That whole reunion, okay? Kane and Howard. Don't nobody want to be your size. Nobody. Don't no grown-ass man want to walk around here and weigh 99 pounds. Not no grown-ass man. You don't... Skinny is not in. Anytime you see the girls, they want flat stomachs, small waist, and a big ass. That's what the girls want nowadays. Don't nobody want to be skinny like that. Nobody. So I think it's comical whenever they talk about, oh, you want to be... When Kane was telling George, you want to be me or you want to be my size. No, he don't. I guarantee you, George do not want to be your size, baby. George want to be your size. George want a flat stomach. That's what George want. But he don't want your body. He don't want your lack of a body. He don't want your lack of a thigh. None of that. And that's just real talk. And I like Kane, actually. But I'm just saying, I think it's funny when the skinny girls always telling the big girls, girl, you want to be my size. No. Kane was getting on my nerve at first because I felt like he spoke, and then when it was time for George to speak, Kane wouldn't let George speak. And my whole thing is this. Yes, I understand that people gonna read each other and shade each other and all that stuff, but I think it has to come a point where, like, you have to allow the other person to get a complete sentence out. Like, at some point, I was wishing somebody just pressed the mute button and just shut Kane the fuck up. Like, Kane, calm down, girl. Let the boy say what the fuck he got to say. And then you can say what you have to say. But at one point, it was just like, okay, girl, Kane, you just over-talking, you just talking. Like, when people do stuff like that, I always feel like they're scared that the other person is going to say something. So you just try to over-talk them. So they can't say what they really want to say. Was George being shady to Kane? Now listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. George said he wasn't being shady with Kane. But I'm with Kane, and I'm with Kane. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I think George is being shady. And it just doesn't add up. Like, you cannot follow Kane on Instagram and then turn around and do the things that you met him a couple of times and I guess saw him a couple. Did they hang out or they met a couple of times? Anyways, regardless if they hung out or met, you follow him on Instagram. So you know exactly what he does. So you say, I mean, you follow him on Instagram and then you say that you were brought onto the show to shake things up. So when those things are said, it just makes me believe that you were trying to shade him. I know he said that he wasn't, but I just don't believe him. That's what it comes down to. I think he was trying to be shady. And if we have watched the same show, George is shady. George is shady. So I don't think in that moment that he was not being shady, because throughout this whole season, he's been shady, which is fine, but I don't know. I just don't believe him. But I mean, at the end of the day, it really wasn't that big of a deal. I did put Kane as sensitive. the whole shade stuff. Yes, if somebody shades you, you can shade them back. But I felt like Kane was nitpicking at everything that everybody said. Like, you don't have to respond to everything. Yes, if somebody shades you, girl, you can shade them back. But I honestly feel like Kane, if you said anything that was even like a small hint of shade, he was like bringing out a bazooka. And I guess you can't do something to somebody and then tell them how to respond. But I also feel like some things you can probably look over. Like the first time when him and George got into it at the tattoo shop, I didn't blame Kane for that because I feel like you have to set shit in stone on how you gonna treat me. You have to show people how to treat you. And if George probably thought that he was gonna come in and shade Kane, Kane probably was like, oh, he got the right bitch today, so let me show him what he not gonna do to me. He can do that to them other girls, but bitch, I'm not the one. Markel and Ricci G, I can't even get the word out, girl. Girl, what? Because girl, they not friends, girl. They never were friends. Let me tell y'all something. Ain't no way in hell Markel could have threw ice at me, a chair at me, put his finger in my face without us turning up half of Dallas, Texas. Ain't no way. Baby, it would have been two punks turned down, baby, turn them streets down. Ain't no way, girl. Ain't no way. Friends have gotten into physical altercations before. I've never gotten into a physical altercation with any of my friends, but friends get into physical altercations sometimes, and depending on the situation, you may be able to get past it. But they had one of the strangest friendships to me from the get-go. Like, just like the whole throwing chairs and ice and putting your finger, like that's not what friends do. And then y'all just come back and like, oh, we're gonna get over it, bitch. What? And now they not talking no more. And now Ricci don't really want to say what it's about. Ricci G, baby, I'm gonna say something in this review and the next review, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you ever see this, we'll get to you in a little bit. Oh, okay. Now listen. Malaysia Booker. People were upset at Ariel because of the comments that Ariel made. I wasn't upset at Ariel when she made the comments, and I wasn't upset at Ariel when they replayed the comments. I think now people were upset at Ariel because of what's going on in the world, like with George Floyd. And so now you see this woman on your screen making these comments after this just happened to a black man. With that being said, the reason why I never had a problem with what Ariel said is because me as a gay black man, I have been disrespected more by black people for being gay than I have been disrespected by any other race for being black. So I think there's a good chance that Ariel has probably been disrespected more as a trans woman by black folk than she's probably been disrespected before her transition being a male up until now being a woman by other races. I can't speak for Ariel. I don't know her. When you see trans women being murdered and you see people crowded around and not trying to break it up, and then when you see these trans women who are being murdered, especially these black trans women who are being murdered by black men, you cannot get upset at someone when they say, fuck them pussies. Because at the end of the day, the black men are killing the black trans women. So why do you want her to have any type of sympathy or empathy for someone who's killing people in her community? How and why? So, like as a black gay man, I know that black people will not have my back, right? Let's just keep it for what it is. When I say black people, I ain't talking about all of y'all. Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about, okay? So I know that if a trans woman is killed tomorrow, y'all hoes ain't gonna start no hashtag. Y'all ain't gonna post her picture. All y'all gonna say is, she must have tricked him. She must have tricked him. That's why he killed her. It's going to be some type of excuse of why this woman was killed. It's going to be an excuse. You're going to have some type of justification on why that man killed that trans woman. And then when these men are getting their brains blown out by the cops, y'all want everybody to rally around and scream their name. But you couldn't even do the same thing for her because you think that she tricked somebody. So no, I don't think Ariel should apologize. I would not apologize. I understood exactly what the fuck that bitch was saying when she said it. I understood exactly what the fuck she was saying when they replayed it last night. And when I just watched it earlier today. I know exactly what the fuck she was saying. I'm tired of having these niggas' backs when they don't have mine. And that's as simple as 1, 2, 3 and ABC. I'm not having anyone's back if they don't have mine. I'm not starting no hashtag. I'm not beating no streets. I'm not doing none of that shit. Because when we die, and we will not even die, when we're killed and when we're murdered, y'all hoes go on mute, y'all go on by y'all business, y'all still be at happy hour, y'all still go to the club. And that's just what it is. So I got what Ariel was saying. The gay man versus the trans women. Or trans men, period. It is a double standard. People look at trans women, and let me say, this is coming from someone who was not, girl, I've not, well, for the most part, up until, years ago, of course, I struggle with my sexuality, just like a lot of other people. Struggle with my sexuality. I did not see it for trans women until one day I woke up and I realized that, girl, we really in this together, like. And how can I sit here and tell you or even think that, girl, something must be wrong with you, and then get mad when somebody tell me that something must be wrong with me? But it's fucked up, basically, because you have gay men out there who actually do look down on trans women who are in sex work. But then they will go out there and start an OnlyFans page for $9.99. Like, you have this trans woman or trans man, they have to go into sex work because they probably can't get a job, right? They're doing this because they're trying to live. You created an OnlyFans page because you wanted to live in a luxury high-rise apartment. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But bitch, you got some nerve trying to judge this trans woman or this trans man for doing the same thing you doing. She might be on the street and you doing your shit on the internet, but at the end of the day, she doing hers because she's just trying to pay her $900 rent or her $800 rent. You doing yours because you want to live in West Hollywood in the middle of all the mess. Anyways, Ricci and Ariel, they fell out, I guess. We're going to get more into Ricci on the next reunion because this review is getting longer than I expected. But I'm going to say this much. Ricci G, girl, it's something ain't right. Something ain't right. You falling out with too many people. You fell out with Ariel. You fell out with Dior, Trey Howard, George, Markel. It looks like Carrie has something to say to you next week. Sweetie, It's not everybody. It's not everybody else. It's actually you. I think Ricci is a Mariah Huck. That's what I think Ricci is. Mariah Huck is someone from Marriage to Medicine. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. I'm going to get into Ricci. I got everything I want to say, but I just want to wait until next week to hear what he got to say. I'm still going to say what I got to say. No, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say some of it, then we'll go into details next week. I think Ricci can do what he wants to do. From what I understand, this is his show. Girl, he funding the show. He can do what he want to do it. If he want to scrape it tomorrow or throw it in the trash, he can. However, I think the problem is because the team is not big enough, or there may not be a lot of people on the team, that Ricci really has his hand in a lot of the mess. So it's hard for the people on the cast to deal with him because he is the EP and he is a cast member. And so they know you probably over here setting shit up, and then you have to run to the other side and act like, oh, you don't know what's going on. When they call you Ricci O'Neal, I think the difference between Ricci and Shawnee, and I'm going to end it on this one, is when Shawnee created Basketball Wives and she is the EP of Basketball Wives, I think now, judging on what happened on Basketball Wives in last season, I don't think Shawnee is as involved with the mess on camera as she probably used to be. They probably told her, Shawnee, you can still have your EP title, you can still get your EP check, plus your cast member check, and all that'll stay the same. However, in order for this show to work, you really can't know all the ins and outs of the scenes. And I think that Ricci G knows a lot of the ins and outs of the scenes. And it just becomes a big mess. Ricci G gonna have to either decide he wanna be a cast member or an EP. Because it's not working out. And that's why them girls are coming for your fucking neck. Because you probably doing shady shit. Not necessarily shady like illegal shit. But you probably doing shady shit behind the scenes. And they know you doing shady shit. And that's why they can't stand your ass. But we'll get into more of that. Because I got some more to say about that next week. The fight, we already talked about the fight. I'm not talking about that fight no more. Girl, that fight wore me out. Dior, one thing I don't like about Dior is, like, maybe that's a gay thing. Like, they really be calling their children like they children. Like, let me just say something about Trey Howard. Trey Howard got too much motherfucking mouth. Too much motherfucking mouth for you to just be treating him like that's my child. I need to go check on my child. That's my child. Girl, the way y'all say child is almost like you would think it's a child. That is a grown-ass man with a whole lot of mouth, which is fine. But you can't have all that goddamn mouth and still want to protect him like he's some goddamn innocent child. It just don't work that way. Because at some point, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about Trey being your child. He gonna get popped in his fucking mouth, which is fine. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get that whole, you invited my child knowing that Trey was gonna be there. Why are you acting like Trey Howard is 12 years old and Trey Womack is the 22-year-old man up the street who about to beat your child up? Those are both grown, they are both grown-ass men. And if you're going to be online talking shit about people, talking about stuffed, then you might get stuffed in your mouth. Anyways, I do not like how they always talk about production. I think that a lot of the cast members, they don't know how this reality TV works or reality thing works. So they do stuff and they probably should say no. And then when it comes out, they realize that certain people had their hands in the cookie jar, and now they're pissed off. Like that fight scene. I believe a lot of the stuff that Dior was saying. That's why I think they probably pissed off at Ricci. Because a lot of the stuff Dior was saying, I believe. And you see Ricci just sat there and was quiet because, and that's the thing, like, When are you not like, are you in EP mode right now? While Dior was sitting there talking about production, now you have to go back to EP mode. And then you have to switch back to cast member. Then you have to go back to EP mode. So it's like, when he said, you, girl, when Kane told Howard sitting over there looking like a bird, he did look like a bird. I never realized it until Kane said, I said, but Kane was getting them girls together. Dior was cussing Ricci the fuck out. Everybody know you broke as fuck, bitch, fuck you. The way Dior was cussing out Ricci G, like, I did not think they had beef like that. Like, the way Dior has never even, like, to me, I had never seen Dior get out of character like that this whole season. So for him to curse out Ricci like that, it's some shit going on behind the scenes. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I don't know if it was because Ricci started taking a jab. And see, Ricci, this is where you do go for people's business. Because as soon as you got mad at a Dior, you tried to act like he overpriced and all that stuff. Like, why are you bringing up his business into this? That's probably why Dior cussed his ass out. The secret audio I thought was some bullshit. Dior says he did try to calm Howard down. Oh, Trey, this is why I need somebody to let Trey know. Trey, baby, you are not no peach holder. Yes, let me say something. Yes, Trey should have been a peach holder, okay? But Trey, you are not a peach holder. Baby, that attitude, when I tell you, Trey Howard probably has the worst attitude on the show. I don't know, he has this entitled attitude. You would think that Trey grew up in 90210. Like, his attitude is horrible. Horrible. He feels entitled. He feels like things should go his way. He should have been sitting. The way I looked at the seating arrangement when he was going off, I looked at it like, okay, it's already 4 people on this side. The camera, I don't know what type of equipment they have, but girl, they was already struggling trying to get everybody in the frame anyways. So they probably thought it would just be easier for you just to sit in the back. Trey wanted to show his outfit off. Okay? Trey wanted to show his outfit off. But at the end of the day, Trey, you're not a cast member. Like, you just not. I mean, you were on the show as much as a cast member, as a peach holder, but you're not in the opening credits, baby. You're just not. And I think somebody needs to tell him you're not a peach holder. Girl, when he walked around that corner, honey, when he hit that corner, baby, when I tell you I hollered. Anyways, child, that's all I got to say. This review is long as hell. I'm getting tired. I'm about to go to sleep. Girl. All right, y'all. I'm gone. If anything else I got to say, I'll say it in the next review. Because this review was not supposed to be this long. All right, bye.